hammer follow. So, yeah. I have this about 2.2, 2.3 ounces too light. However, now that I'm ready to adjust it, I want to be careful how heavy I make it, because I really am concerned about the reset. The reset's really nice on here now, but the issue that I'm having is right there. Yeah. Let's go ahead and break it down. Really need to get a captured spring for this thing, man. It's really annoying. Ugh, I hate that. It's like a pet peeve for me. I don't know. I'm just not really into that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and... Okay. Alright, so there is the, so what I want to do is kind of add a little more tension. I'm going to have to give the trigger a little more weight. So, yeah, hate to do that, but it's going to have to be done. So I'm going to just go ahead and just bend this just a little bit. I can see my gap that I have there now. If you can see it there. See? So let's see if I bend this in just a little bit. Let's see if that does anything. Okay. All right. Still. Alright, so still had pretty much the same trigger weight, around 2.3. Let's add a little more to the reset now. I find that adding a little more to the reset, you actually gain a little bit as well to the trigger pull. So I'm going to bend this a little bit in. There we go. Just to see what happens. We'll put it back together. Zero lighting in here. Alright. So, doing over again what I just showed you, taking it apart, taking the sear spring out, what I found was I went too aggressive on the trigger reset. Like, the whole idea was I wanted more reset on the trigger. So I bent it forward a bit. If you've got too much on the disconnector leg, pushing in on the disconnector so you can get your reset, it can have adverse effects with releasing the disconnector correctly, or holding on to the disconnector, I should say. Maybe too long, I don't know, but that had everything to do with the hammer follow. So in doing so, I actually pulled back both. I pulled back on the disconnector leaf spring, and I pulled back on the sear spring as well a little bit, and stuck them both in. and this is what I got. Ready? So we're good. And not only that, but the trigger reset, it's not as aggressive, but it's there. I mean, as soon as I let off, so I get reset. Way to see the trigger pull here. It broke at 2.1. So it's not always not having enough sear leg, you know, enough poundage on the trigger. It's, you know, do you have too much disconnector leg, right? So yeah, I'm averaging about 2.1, 2.2 pounds. I'm going to leave it there just to see what happens and run it a little bit. Most of my guns are at around 2.4, 2.5, sub 2.5 pounds. So if I can run it like that, I mean this it has not one hammer follow. So let's get on to the next fix. So with this one here, go figure, it's the Prodigy. It broke while I was sleeping, and I'm not even lying. I shot like 1,400 rounds through it, and cleaned it, put it back together, function test, it was fine. And then I was comparing my C2 with the Prodigy as far as, you know, pushing up and down on the disconnector, seeing how free it was and what it felt like and all that. And then I went to put it back together, and the bushing would not go back in the slide, no matter what. So, show you what I'm talking about here. Absolutely very confusing. I really have never experienced anything quite like it. See that? See how it's stuck? You have to kind of give it a force. So it's still, I got it to fit, but there's still some issues. I don't know what it is. Let's see if it'll come out. There, okay, yeah. So it came out. Looking at it, I don't really see anything that stands out. There's like a little booger or whatever right here, like a burr maybe. Not so much a burr, but like a little, I could feel it with my fingernail. So what I ended up doing, I mean, it just wouldn't, I couldn't get this to do that. I couldn't get the captured spring. I couldn't get the slide back on. When I was putting the, you know, the slide release back in the hole there, it wouldn't go because this wouldn't budge. This was stuck right here. Right. So if looking at it, so what I did, I started doing this here, and now it drops in, see, but it's not super smooth. I can feel, see there, it won't go in. So there's still some sanding I gotta do. I don't know why this happened. See, it's like, what I ended up doing was I took the bushing and was just kind of seeing if I could get any of those burrs off, you know, whatever's there. I don't know what caused it. I mean, I put it back together fine. I'm wondering if I was trying to think of what issues I might have been experiencing when I shot it. The only issues I was having was with the Prodigy mags. The springs were worn out, so the last round would stay in the magazine. But it was only happening on the Prodigy mag, so I don't think it was this. You know, the Staccato mags all functioned fine, and then so did the Atlas. And furthermore, those magazines, which serve triple duty, when shooting the C2 had the same problem with the Prodigy mag. So this wasn't related. I just don't understand it. I got a little bit of oil here I'm going to put on there too. And what I ended up doing was I just kind of like was working it back and forth, you know. But I'm just going to add a little bit of oil. Whoop, that was too much, but that's all right. A lot of oil. And then just run it back and forth, you know, until I can. And if I have to sand it a little more, I'll sand it some more. But let me know what you think, what might have caused it. I'll wrap this up. It seems better now. It's just kind of weird, but let's go ahead and see if it'll be nice and go back together like I just had it. Okay. There, see it disconnected. The captured spring disconnected. It goes back in, see? So yeah, I mean, yeah, I just keep an eye on it. But if you've ever experienced that before with this gun, or any gun, chime in and let me know what may have caused it. Thanks guys, hope this helps.